Hello, this is Duntov. So right now I'm across the street from the Tropicana site here. We can see the cranes sticking up. I'm in the Excalibur parking lot right now. But today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Alright, so I'm going to head on over to Reno over there, put this camera up over the wall. Because right now I can't go on the Oyo. I'm trying to look. You can see some plane just took off. At first it kind of looked like it was military, but I can't tell. But alright, so I'm going to head over there and put the camera up over the wall since I can't go to the Oyo right now. But from here you can see all the cranes are working. We got the two yellow crawler cranes and then the big the red tower crane. So we're gonna head over there and check it out. All right, and now up over the wall. This is on the corner by my favorite billboard there. I'm on Reno and Las Vegas Blvd. So we're gonna take a look and see what's going on this end. So this end here, we can see it's just, we can see some like just debris and stuff there, but I still get people asking me about if they're gonna build the hotel and casino still. So as far as I know, yes, that's what's slated for this part. You know, if we pan on over to the right here, you know, that's where the stadium is going to be. The stadium is taking about a 9-acre out of the roughly 36-acre site. You know, so these cranes are would be on the one edge of the stadium. So it will be going from this side here. This would be the south end, and then it'll be, you know, heading on out. You can see some of the drill rigs out back that way if you look towards the MGM Grand. So that's the footprint of the stadium. So you're going to have all this area, you know, around here. Down on that southeast corner, last I heard is they are supposed to be building a parking structure there. But then all this area all around the stadium is going to be like a, you know, we'll be putting some hotel towers, casinos, restaurants, bars. So there's still a lot of land. You know, from when I take the view from the other end, you know, this is behind that big pile of material that's in center field that we don't see all this, but now you can get a good view. It is still pretty big. Bally's owns the land, but I haven't heard anything about, you know, any new renderings or start dates. You know, so that's something we'll just keep an eye on. You know, as I hear something, we will update. So that will be more to follow along to watch getting built. So if you are starting to watch this video and you are not subscribed, please subscribe, and you can follow along with this new athletics ballpark build as well as the future hotel casino that's going to go on site with it. And then of course you could also follow along with the Hard Rock Hotel, the old Mirage site. So that they are, you know, the Hard Rock is building a new tower out front where the volcano and water feature used to be, where they're building a giant guitar tower like the one they have in Florida. Okay, so this is the newest crane that was brought on about a month or so ago. All right, so if we look over here, we can see now You can see a lot more is coming out of the ground on this end here. This would be the elevator cores and probably stairwells and who knows what else it would be, but this is the original part where they start pouring the concrete and putting the, foundation. So it's coming up. All right, it's very bright. It's hard for me to tell. The last few times I was on site, I couldn't see the home plate marker. You got that big pile of dirt in the middle there behind like this yellow crawler crane. That's the infield there. And you used to be able to see a green marker. It was home plate. They actually had it when they did their groundbreaking ceremony. But the last few times I was out here, it seemed like it might have been covered in some of that material. But from here, it's too small and too bright for me to make it out. So this camera here, this is as far as I could zoom in. I could do like when I'm rendering, I might be able to zoom in a little more. Just with my with the editor I use, but then we'll lose some of the resolution. And we could also see they have these smaller cranes here. Got two of them over here. Did anyone come out for the fight or the Raider game, the Monday night game? I went to both. So the fight was really good. That's the first time I was ever at a professional fight like that. And then that was the first fight they've ever had at Allegiant Stadium. There was over 70,000 people at that fight. So it was really cool going to that. Raider game, Raider Nation showed up. It was, I think they said 80% Raiders versus 20% Chargers. The fans showed up, but the players didn't. It was pretty bad. Looked completely opposite from the week earlier. But it's always a good time, getting back in there to home opener. Get to go see all our Raider Nation family that we haven't seen since January. So it was a good time, just not the outcome we wanted. All right, I'm going to move down a little more. We'll see if we could see anything, as I move down. See if we can notice anything new. You can't see the clouds down there around the mountains, and I'll even spin around looking south. So yesterday we had a lot of rain in Las Vegas. It's been a long time, but out by my house it rained probably for 3-4 hours, which is unheard of lately out here. So they said there's a chance of rain again today. You could see all the clouds building up over the mountains. All right, I'm going to make my way back around, or back down a little bit, and we're going to check. Last time I was out here on this street right here, so this is gate 3. They actually, if you remember, that the gate was open and they were bringing a lot of the material out, where right now it's closed. And then I do see, if we look way down there by the wall, they actually have, I gotta zoom first and then pan, so we can see how they even have people parking out this way on site now. So curious to see what they're changing around in there. All Alright, so from here we can see a lot of the concrete columns sticking up there. And we got some kind of water tank here. I'm trying to walk and turn the camera at the same time. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Alright, I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to zoom in. We're going to check out some of the area here. It is hard for me to tell what I'm looking at on this viewfinder. The sun's like right behind me, but we'll just get some video and see how it looks. Alright, so this right here, this would be like the southwest. No, it doesn't really have a corner, but that would be the southwest side of the stadium. And we got the crane. Alright, it looks like they might have moved the crane since I walked up, because it was facing more towards the, where it was facing more towards like the MGM Grand. So let's see if it looks like we could tell if they're lifting anything up. It's hard for me to notice anything. I can't even really make out where the cable is, so we'll keep an eye on it, see if anything gets lifted into place. A lot of times I can't even tell, what I see until I download these videos, so bear with me. Alright, I'm trying to make out what that is. Alright, we got this big piece sticking up here, but then on the viewfinder it looks like we got some kind of like walkway or something coming out of the side of it, about 2/3 of the way up. I could be totally wrong. That might be something behind it as far as I know, but it's getting a lot taller out of the ground though. So right now, I think it's almost 12 noon. Not sure the hours that the crews are working still. I just moved down a little bit more. Alright, so this will be the view from home plate looking towards the outfield. They are going to have a, I think they call it a glass tension wall, like a glass. It's going to have the cables, tension cables with the glass mounted. So the whole back wall of new ballpark you'll be able to see out onto Las Vegas Boulevard, facing this direction. Not a bad view. Alright, so it looks like, see, they moved the crane around. It was just sideways, so. But I can't notice them lifting anything into place. Okay, we got the water tank, the elevated water tank there, and then we got the forms up next to it. I don't know if it's an optical illusion, right in the center of the screen. To me, it looks like it's leaning a little bit to the right. But on the viewfinder, it's just like a big dark rectangle to me. I can't even make out if that's like the rebar or if that's like the forms that are already upheld into place, because I do see a lot of supports sticking out at that angle, but can't really make it out. A lot more columns. All these columns are going to start going up at the different like levels, because those are going to be what are holding up some of the seating. So obviously more towards home plate's going to be lower than the back ones, which will be going up higher as the seating goes up. Okay, we can see some forms over here, and looks like we got a crew over here. I can't tell if they're making rebar cages or not. Starting to get a little warm here. It's only like low 80s right now, but the sun is really hot. And then we're not used to humidity out here, so it's getting really warm real quick. Alright, I'm going to move down. I don't know if you can hear it yet, but we got the noisy street cleaner coming this way. This thing, as it gets closer, you probably won't even be able to hear me talk. It's pretty loud. I'm surprised it hasn't. Sounds like it's going to break apart. Alright, so this is right by, you can see the gates here. These are the employee gates. I never see them coming in and out this way yet, so I don't know if they use these yet, but they had stuff like this at Allegiant Stadium where eventually they'll be able to just swipe in and out going through them gates there. Okay, so here we go. This is, you can see all the cranes up. So I'm just going to zoom in and we're going to just see what we see on the video. Alright, so right behind that, that's that structure I was talking about. All right, let's take a look at this. I can see something moving right there. Not sure if that's the tower crane moving. Nope, I think it's the smaller crane. So it looks like the smaller crane right in front, this little yellow one, is gonna lift something up. All right, I just moved down more. You can see right in front of where I'm at, all these, by the wall, are all these, all the forms. All right, as I was walking by them gates, so this is at an angle, obviously you can see that now really good. So I'm not sure if this is one of the main, like, I know they're gonna have the 6 supports for the roof. I don't know if this is one of those. A lot of rebar, and you can even see the cooling lines and stuff that they have in between. So they should start putting forms up around that and then getting the concrete poured for that soon. Alright, so I guess that's all I got for today. You know, this is the best view I could do right now until I figure out a way, or who I have to talk to try to get on the Oyo parking deck again. But as of right now, this is what we're working with. So if you aren't subscribed, please give me a subscribe so you can follow along with this build. Anything you like about the videos, if you could give me a thumbs up, be greatly appreciated. And then I love the comments, so if you have anything good or bad to say, put it in the comments. Let's, you know, if you want to have any other ideas, where you want me to film from, or what you'd like to see, you know, I'm all open. I'm here for everybody. I want to, you know, try to get the best views I could get. I do have people ask me about a drone, so I do have a drone. But if you didn't know, this is right next to the airport. and it's in restricted airspace. You know, if you watch the demolition videos, they did have aerial views that they were posting. You know, I don't have a drone license, and I do have the course. I did buy the course, but it's pretty involved. You know, it's not just learning how to take off and fly the drone. It's really about all the aviation questions. So there's a lot to it, and I just, you know, I haven't had the time to put aside to actually learn it how I need to, because then you do have to take a, you know, an official test, and then I think you get the license is good. I think it's every 2 years you might have to retake the test. But that would be great, but it's just finding the time to do it. You know, because these videos I'm doing in my, you know, spare time after work, you know, and then I still got family life, so one day, maybe. I keep telling my son to get the license because he comprehends that stuff way faster than I do, but between him with college and work, he don't have time to do anything either. So for now, just bear with me. We're gonna go up over the wall, or maybe I'll buy me like a jetpack or something, and I'll just hover above the wall myself and with the camera. Never know. Alright, so I'd like to thank everyone though for watching, and have a great night, and I'll talk with you guys next time.